I learned about the stunt industry, and I danced my whole life, and I thought like it would be an easy transition. Like I could learn sword fight choreography and fight choreography, just like I learned like ballet and tap and jazz. So I just sort of dived into the industry. I did it for 2 years full time, and it introduced me. I did like boxing and Muay Thai and kickboxing, and it was just like a day at the office, like learning how to do all of these things. But I really fell in love with boxing.
Yeah, which is not common, I think, for people to fall in love with boxing.
Right? So random.
Yeah, awesome. So you fell in love with, were you doing boxing when you were in Florida, or not until you got here?
No, not until I moved here.
Not until you moved here. Okay, so you come to California to get a fresh start. You come out to hopefully become a stunt woman. You were interested in those things. Did that happen, or did then what? Talk about what happened once you got here.
Yeah, I did. It's a hustle, but I did stunts for 2 years, and I worked on a couple different shows like Pretty Little Liars, which you've probably never heard of because it's for like teenage girls,
okay.
And like CSI New York, Ironside, kind of just a bunch of random TV shows, but it was super fun.
Good experience.
It was an amazing experience. Like when I was 20 years old, if you would have said that I would have been like on screen sword fighting, like I would have been like, I don't even know how to do that. Like no way, you know? So surreal.
So when did you really start getting big into your health? When did that kind of start to move to be such an important part of your life?
First of all, I didn't know anything about health or fitness when I lived in Florida. Like I ate awful. I didn't understand or comprehend that like you eat for nutritional values, so I just ate to be full, you know?
Yep.
And it wasn't until I moved out here that like I got into boxing, and then I kind of started working out for stunts, and then I decided to do a bikini competition, my bikini bodybuilding competition, and that's when I really, yes, oh my gosh, so tough. But that's when I really like learned and zoned into like food and nutrition and health, and learned so much about my body through that experience. And
so did you get a coach during that, or did you do it all on your own?
I did. I had a coach.
Okay.
Yeah.
So did your coach prepare meal plans and how much water and all that kind of stuff? Okay.
Yeah, I had a meal plan. I knew what to eat every day and why, and a gallon of water a day, I think you're familiar with. And yeah, it was tough.
Yeah, that is not easy. But I think so I was doing the same thing, had a coach, fitness and all that kind of stuff. And you really learn what foods help you gain muscle, what foods help you cut fat and stay slim and all that kind of stuff. So I think what you're talking about is really what I learned is some of those lessons of the food plans that I was provided with, I'm now trying to use those throughout my life.
For sure.
And kind of incorporate those things too.
Exactly.
What would you say, what have you learned? What's been the biggest lesson that you learned on what we eat? Like first talk about foods you completely try to avoid.
I definitely avoid like fried food, which I can't even stomach anymore at this point.
And you're from the South.
I know. When I go home, I get hardcore judged for like being like, no, thanks for the fried chicken. Like they don't understand, but it's okay. Yeah, I don't know fried food. Like occasionally French fries, but it's like, you know, a nice treat.
That's a splurge.
Definitely no like fried chicken, anything like that. I try to lay off the sugar. I am a chocoholic. We try to go dark. And definitely in moderation, but definitely sugars, no sodas.
Yeah.
You know, just balance.
Yeah, and sugar is the number one addictive thing out there today.
So
it's worse than drugs as far as how many people are addicted to sugar. But yeah, milk chocolate tastes so much better to me than dark chocolate. I don't know if it's the same for you.
No, it does.
It does?
I have like a cutoff. It's about 65% cacao that I can't, if it's more, then it's too dark for me, and I can't handle it.
So do you eliminate completely all carbs from your diet, or do you still incorporate carbs?
I've tried that, and I think everybody's body is different, and some people have no desire to eat carbs, and so like that's kind of like a keto diet's great for them. But for me, carbs give me a lot of really good energy. But I sort of track everything, you know, intuitively. So I stick to good carbs, you know, brown rice, quinoa. I do eat like wheat bread, like stuff like that occasionally, but like, you know, I don't go ham on like mashed potatoes or pasta or anything like that.
Yeah. Ever? Or as much as you possibly can.
Almost never, really.
That's
like,
awesome.
Yeah.
How about soda? You drink
No way.
soda?
No.
way? It's poison.
I can't even handle it anymore. Like, I used to drink, I'm from the South, so I used to drink sweet tea, like super sweet. And when I first moved here, like sweet tea wasn't really a thing. Nobody serves it. They give you like, you know, shitty sugar packets or whatever. And I adjusted to like unsweet tea. And then now I can't even drink sweet tea when I go home. It's just disgusting to me.
So do you try to eat multiple meals during the day too, or how many meals do you have a day, for instance?
When I was prepping, I had about 6 meals a day, and it was very strict, as you know.
Yep.
And that definitely works, but it's not realistic for me and my lifestyle. So, you know, now when I'm not getting ready for a show, so now I can stick to 3 meals a day, and as long as they're balanced and like portion control, then I'm good to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think most people don't realize what a meal means. You know, they
Right.
think I'm going to get a plate. And first off, in the American diet, the plates are like double the size as a normal
insane.
plate, and then people just load up food as much as they can on the plate. And you know, the way that I was raised, and I don't know if it was like this for you, is that you had to eat everything on your plate. If you took it and it's on there, you need to eat it.
Oh my gosh.
And sometimes that can be, that can be bad. You should, you know this, but you probably should eat till you're full, or till you're not full is probably not the right, till you're satisfied.
Exactly.
And then, then you can.
And eat slow, because people like will eat so fast that like they don't realize they're full yet, and so then they go overboard, and then they're like, oh my god, what have I done? But like, yeah, if you take your time, eat your meal, and then wait. When you're full or satisfied, stop. It's okay.
Yeah, and then you were just talking about a client that you were working with, and she was really frustrated about. She said she was always gaining weight.
Yeah, she was struggling with her weight gain, and we were working out, and she eats pretty healthy, but I literally was like, show me your refrigerator, and like I looked at like some of the things that she eats for dinner, like this was like a pre-made soup or whatever, and like, and it's like, it was like beans and vegetables. It was healthy, but she didn't realize that there were 3 servings in the container, and she would eat the whole container. Yeah. You have to look at that. You have to look at the amount of servings, just in everything, because it's a trick. They're always tricking you. Yeah. All right, so now let's talk a little bit about your being an entrepreneur. So I know you have a full-time gig as far as you've been working a job. You do social media and that for different companies. Mm-hmm. But then you started Femme. Mm-hmm. So talk a little bit about what got you into that. So stunts got me into boxing. Boxing propelled me into fitness, and I held on to boxing this entire time. I quit doing stunts like 5 years ago, but I just loved the workout and the feeling of like, the first time I boxed, I felt so like empowered. And I used to be very scared. Like I used to be afraid to like walk from my car to like my front door at night, like just like uncomfortable, like somebody was going to like get me. Mm-hmm. And I swear like that when I started boxing, like it just all went away. Like I just felt so like I could handle myself if I needed to. And like I think that people see that, predators, whoever, like you can see that in someone. You can see the confidence in somebody, and they don't go after people that's got their chin held high and like shoulders back and look like they are aware and can handle themselves. And so I just became super addicted to it, and it's just a great workout, because we box together. It's such a great
so much fun. So much fun.
Yeah. So you sweat your butt off, and it feels just great and empowering. And so from there, I decided that I wanted to create a brand. First, I decided that I wanted really cute boxing gloves, like that match my outfit, that had like cute little designs on them, and then I was like, me and my friend were like, let's make those. And then we were like, okay, how do you make boxing gloves? What are they even made of? Like we knew nothing at all. But we just started doing the research and the work, and it just evolved into a much bigger thing, because we want to empower women through boxing. So the gloves are like, you put them on and you already instantly feel kind of badass, Yep. Can I cuss on this?
Yes, you can. Yeah, no, I love that you're bringing that up. Keep going.
Yeah, so you put them on, and like that's the start of it, and then you learn how to throw a couple punches, and then you get better at it, and and you're getting fitter, you're getting stronger,
Yeah.
and you're learning things that you can actually use to defend yourself if you ever needed to.
Yeah.
And so we want to, you know, spread that as far and wide as we can. And boxing just happens to be trending right now, which is perfect. So
Yeah.
we are creating a line of...
So you're at the start of it.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, so we're creating a line of really unique boxing gloves and wraps that will eventually evolve into, you know, full-on like sports bras, leggings, and things of that nature. And then we're going to teach.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. I didn't know that.
Femme
Awesome.
fighter, everything. And then we're going to teach boxing and self-defense classes all over the United States and just pop-up gyms. We could do them outside, like we could do them anywhere.
Yeah.
But, if we get access to different gyms and like that boxing gyms that have bags and stuff like that, like even better.
Yeah.
And, you know, and the point is to just teach people,
Yeah.
teach women and empower them and like just to create a community and like link together and have each other's back and feel strong and empowered and amazing and
Yeah.
badass.
So this is going to age me a little bit, but when we did our first lesson, my favorite show growing up was Rocky. And I can still remember like Rocky 3, I used to watch that show to get motivated and pumped up for football games. And then Rocky 4, when that movie came out, when he fought against the Russian, that was it. That was awesome. So when we're doing boxing, all of a sudden it feels like, man, I'm Rocky.
Yeah, you are.
and you, no, you get, it's so fun. And I think as we were going, you know, it's fun. You're invigorated. You're feeling like you said, you're a tough guy. And then all of a sudden you're sweating. And you're like, man, I'm getting a really good workout out of this. And I, you know, I'm a beginner, a very, very beginner. So I learned you showed me a few punches, one, two, and I probably don't even remember all of them. But I think the more you get into it and the more you can do, because I've seen some of your videos afterwards where you're doing all, I don't even know what, I mean, all these different things, ducking, moving all of it's tough, but it's a good workout.
Yeah, and you know what? It's mentally stimulating because you're so focused. I swear it's the best form of therapy because you're focused. Somebody's calling out and you're punching and like trying not to hit them and you're just in the zone. So you're not thinking about any of the crap going on in your life. You're just like in this moment and next thing you know, 30 minutes later, you're just drenched in sweat. And
that's a good point. I didn't think of it that way too, because a lot of times when I'm going to the gym and I'm working out, and I love working out with weights and that, you can get sidetracked in your mind. And, you know, as you start thinking about something from work or something from family or whatever it is, and all of a sudden you've lost track of your workout, where when you're doing boxing, you have to be zoned in. Awesome. So why do you feel like that women are gravitating towards it? And why has it been, I mean, you did, but why are you seeing some of your clients and why are women loving it so much?
I think it's the same feeling that I felt. It's the feeling of being empowered. And in today's day and age, like, you know, women get to be strong and they get to have the opportunity to defend themselves and just sort of have their chest held high. It's not a man's sport anymore, you know, like women, there's pro fighting women now too, and it's just really unique. And when I ask, because it's sort of like market research at this point for my brand, like I ask all my clients, like, how'd you feel the first time we boxed? And like, usually that's one of the most common words is empowered or strong.
Nice. And I think, you know, maybe a stigma that's not accurate about it is some women may feel like, hey, I'm not feminine if I'm boxing, but I don't think you're getting into it to go do MMA, right?
No, exactly.
That's not the thing. And I don't think a lot of women, you're not going to become a pro boxer by going and do this. It's just a great workout.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a great workout and it is empowering. And like the point of the brand, because it's super girly, and like one of the main points was that like you can be a beautiful feminine goddess and still kick ass. You can still learn to box. And so the gloves and the line is really girly, you know, but it's fun, and so it makes you be able to be in touch with both your feminine and your masculine in this workout, and it's great.
Yeah. And so when I go to the gym, we have bags at the gym that I go to,
Yeah.
but I've never seen a woman on the bag.
Really?
Never. It's always men, and then the men that I do see on the bag, they look really, really cool, and it looks like it's a fun workout to get going. But how cool would it be, or how awesome would it be if you know, women are over there going on the bag?
Yeah.
And that's what it is that you're doing and helping bring.
Exactly.
Okay. And so you talked about, you know, training classes and that, and you also are talking about a clothing line. eventually, hopefully, you're talking about having your own gym that people can go to
Yeah.
as well.
And maybe multiple.
Yeah. So is there really right now today, I was thinking about this, is there anybody that is kind of the face of boxing for women as far as training and working out and all that kind of stuff? Or are you kind of at the forefront of this?
I cannot think, and I follow it, I can't think of any like real, like, as far as the boxing, the workout, like Ronda Rousey, like she's probably
Sure.
the well-known boxer, female boxer, but like as far as like the industry and the fitness industry boxing, there's no real face of it. There's models that do it, like Victoria's Secret model, like Adriana Lima does it.
Had no idea.
Yeah, there's she loves it. And then like there's an actress from that show, Pretty Little Liars, Shay Mitchell, that all of your female viewers will know. She does boxing a lot. So, and then there's like a couple sort of like fitness icons that started to dabble in it, and I actually think the Kardashians box. No, but nobody's like the face of it. And I want to send a pair of gloves to all of these women.
Oh,
and hopefully
yeah.
they'll get on board and promote and want to inspire and empower women as well.
If you could ever do a lesson on video with one of those women, your business would just take off,
Yeah, I
right?
know,
Because
that'd be
everybody
crazy.
know that'd be awesome. So let's talk a little bit more about you now, if that's okay. Jaimie, what makes you the most happy? What brings you the most, what makes you happy in life, would you say?
I would have to say, it sounds cheesy, but like honestly, being able to inspire people. I occasionally get like little messages in my inbox just from like often like teenage girls, and they just want to tell me that I inspire them, like, and it just like makes me want to cry, you know?
Yeah. And are they seeing you because of your social media? I know you have a big account on you're getting a little teary eyed. I love that.
Don't make me wanna cry.
That's awesome. Is it from Instagram? Is it your YouTube channel? What is it that?
Most of the time it's my Instagram. I post a lot of my workouts on there and like tips about health and fitness, and a lot of pictures of my progress, or sometimes when I digress, I'll even post that because I like to keep it real.
Yeah.
And then and they'll just sort of follow my page and message me and just be like, please keep posting because I love it, what you do, and it's inspiring me. So.
Yeah. And I do want to come back to that because that's also what brings me the most happiness, is inspiring and helping other people. Talk for just a second, if you don't mind. How did you build up your following on social media that you have? I think you can say, how many thousands of followers do you have right now on Instagram?
I think 22?
22,000.
Something like that.
We're just talking about, I just started my page and I'm almost to 2,000.
Hey, getting up there.
You're only 11 times me. So how did you do that?
I did a lot of research to figure out how to build a brand on social media. And in the fitness industry, you know, a lot of it is being able to, like, we get to like work on and sculpt our bodies through our workouts. And so that's like, you know, as a trainer, like I am my sort of billboard and my
You're your
promotion.
brand. Yeah.
So I do a lot of photo shoots. Just creating good content is probably number one, like good quality content. Bringing value to the people that are following you. So like explaining like things about macronutrients or different types of diets, what works and what doesn't, like just bringing like knowledge and value from the industry. And then being engaging. If somebody's commenting on my pictures, then I should comment back and you know, just talk to everybody, and that's going to bring them back, and I want to connect with them, you know, and I want to inspire them, so I want them to stay, you know, and hang out with me on my page, you know, and follow my story and stuff like that.
Yeah. So I'm glad you brought that up, because I think that's sometimes difficult to do. And people, you know, they'll put out a good post and it does have some good content, and then people will respond, but they don't respond back. Mm-hmm. Now, I had a post today, funny enough, where I put out a post. It was something about, and it was a quote from Richard Branson, which I don't know if you know Richard Branson. He's a billionaire, you know, CEO of Virgin Airlines, and he talks about that. And if people know who he is, he's really big into adventure and creating a lifestyle and all that kind of stuff. And his quote was something along the lines of, if the end goal is happiness, which it should be, then our top priority should be adventure. You know, having an adventurous life, going out and doing things rather than just always working all the time.
Gotcha.
Well, I had a response from a gentleman who said, well, what are you talking about? The top priority in life should always be God. And I haven't responded back, but immediately I was like, man, I believe in God, and God's very important to me, and it's, the centerpiece of my life, but I didn't want to get defensive and get back in like a confrontation type thing. So I think the lesson to be learned is, be selective, I guess, on what you're responding to.
Definitely. I mean, like, I obviously get some creepy messages, and I just ignore them, and I go about my day, and it doesn't bother me, and you kind of feel them out, and you know what to respond to, and like, you could say to that guy, to each their own, like, I'm allowed to have an opinion, you're allowed to have an opinion, and,
Yeah. Talk about, you said when you influence another individual and somebody is impacted by what it is that you're doing, that's what ultimately brings the most happiness to you. Did you start experiencing, you said you started experiencing that through social media, but is there any particular examples that you can think of that just have really touched you, where you've helped somebody else?
First of all, like, I remember when I didn't know anything about health and fitness, and I was prepping for my show, and I followed a handful of women that inspired me. So I knew like what it was like on the other end to like just kind of like look up to this person and learn from them and be like, oh my God, like this. And like I would literally like not want to go to the gym, and I would open up my phone and go to my Instagram and look at these people's pages, and like it would literally motivate me to go, And then I would go to the gym. And when I started, so that's, I started documenting my prep and everything like that on social media. And it's honestly how I became a trainer, because at the time I was just training and learning myself. And then people started coming to me and asking me how to get abs or how to lose 10 pounds, what should they eat, and would I work out with them. And so I started trying to help them, because again, like, I came from a place where I didn't know anything, so I want to enlighten everybody,
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's amazing. And so I wanted to help everybody, and then I felt so much joy from just doing that like I was like, what if I could do this for a living? And so I figured out, like, got certified and just became a trainer.
Okay, last question. We've been here for a little bit, but last question is, what advice or counsel would you give to a young woman who is trying to start their own business for the first time?
Oh my gosh. I would say you have to be passionate about what you're building. I had opportunities to like start businesses or open gyms, but like not in the realm of something that I felt really passionate about, So I could have been good at it, but like I don't know that I would have had the drive, to do it without the passion. So I think it's something that you have to really feel for. And then be resilient and don't take no for an answer. Like, put in the work. It's not like, like there were nights that I stayed up until like 3 or 4 in the morning researching like how to start the business, how to trademark my name, like all of these things. And it didn't even feel like it was because I had to. It was because I felt so passionate about it that I just got lost track of time. Like I was just having, a blast, like learning all these things. Sometimes it wasn't a blast, but like I still like wanted to accomplish what I was trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
But yeah, being resilient and just doing a lot of research. I listened to a lot of podcasts of a lot of other female entrepreneurs and males that really inspired me. And like, I very quickly learned that I wasn't alone in any of the things that I was ever feeling, any setbacks or anything like that. Like, everybody's been through it, and it's not going to be easy.
Right.
And, you just keep going.
Great answer.
Yeah.
No, that's good. And I think a lot of people, when they think of success, they don't see all of the things that go into it, all those long nights that you talked about. And so that's why the passion is so important, because if you don't have passion for what it is that you're doing, you're going to give up. In today's day and age, I talk about that we live in a social media, Instagram, Facebook highlights. So everybody just sees the good.
Yeah.
They don't know all the long nights and all the work and all the bad, or all the hardships that go into creating the success that you have.
And do you remember that book that we had to read, Who Moved My Cheese?
Yep.
So I
Great
feel
book.
like it's a good story, because like that, when I first started Femme, it had a completely different name. and I was very attached to it, and it was trademarked. It was like in the middle of being trademarked. It was like a whole thing, and it could have prolonged like starting the company by a year. And
Wow.
so I had to let go of it, you know, and it was like, there's a change happening. I don't really have a lot of control over. I fought for it as much as I could, but at the end of the day, it was like, okay, I have to let this go. It's okay. Like, everything happens for a reason. And now I have Femme Fighter, and it ends up being a much better name for what we're doing. So
I'm glad you have it.
yeah.
Okay, so next, you and I are going to go get some a boxing lesson, or just a few things that we can show the viewers.
Okay.
That sound cool?
Yeah.
All right, Jaimie, thank you very much for your time,
Oh my gosh,
and you've brought incredible value. So I know that I look up to you. I don't know if I've ever told you that, but I look up to you for all that you've accomplished, for everything that you are, and just who you really are as a person. And I know I think I've told you that just you're amazing. You have a great heart. So thank you for being here with us, and yeah, let's go get that lesson.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, awesome.